name's Kim Oliver. I live in Golden, Colorado. We've lived here for 22 years, and 2 years ago, I finally got my greenhouse that I've been wanting for years. I think it helps to get through this time of the year and not have to endure all the hail and put out my plants after I've grown them in the greenhouse. It's either 5A or 5B. We're right on the cusp. We're at 6,000 feet here. I have 28 microclimates in my yard, I say. We can drop 50 degrees in one day. When the first summer or spring that we were here, I planted on Memorial Day, and it was like 75 degrees during the day, and by that evening it was 30 degrees and snowing. And so with those kind of extremes, it's really hard to grow anything. So this last year, everything that you see in my garden beds now was either wintered over or grown in the greenhouse. The base was probably the most challenging part. We built it ourselves with another friend, and the base is made out of cedar timbers. We put the timbers down, and then I took rebar after drilling holes into the timbers, and then I pounded them in. We pounded them in, and then we cut the 2x4s, drilled them in, and so then we were able to make sure that all the wood was locked into the ground and then put the greenhouse onto that. This corner of the yard was really hard to garden, and so having this here with my garden beds, it's been a game changer. This is the first year that my garden is this advanced at this time of year. If you go and look at other people's gardens, they're half the size of mine. Water and power to this side of the house has been kind of a challenge, so we did get more power installed so I could run the heater, and then I just pull hoses in. But it's really easy. I just turn that to auto. That runs on a timer. I can water, however many times a day. But this runs for 10 minutes once a day, and then I'll spot water. That's my great-grandfather's bench that he built in the 1940s. I have everything in here, all of my watering supplies and tools. This is a humidifier. We get 100-degree weather, 90-degree weather, and in here it could be up to 120 degrees if we didn't do something. So we put an aluminate shade cloth over the top, and we'll run this. It hooks up to a water hose and power, and it just blows cool, warm, moist air. And if it gets really hot, you could put like ice in the top here, and it helps the cooling effect even more. My shoulder season and the winter is prime for us. That's really the biggest benefit, and everything else can grow outside in the summertime. But we're gonna see how this stuff does this summer, because that tomato plant right there, that's from last summer. That's a year old. And there's tomatoes on it. There's still a few things that I'm gonna tweak because this is still kind of, learning curve, but the wind gets so high here, and it just is super, it's just solid. I mean, we built a whole, garden around it and retaining wall and sitting area for us to enjoy the greenhouse. So we're not joking around. We looked at a lot of different styles, and I've done a lot of research in the past. It's just something that is super load bearing because we do get snow. Of course, you've probably heard a lot of other people mention the 8 dudes sitting on top of the greenhouse. I think that's what compelled my husband to send me the link, and it's a really affordable greenhouse. And then on the back end, to be honest, the customer service has been really excellent. So affordability and durability. I have a friend who purchased a greenhouse about the same time. It's a Gothic arch, and she's out in Fruita. That's on the western slope of Colorado. They have higher temperatures in the summer. They have greenhouse envy. I don't know the brand of that one, but it's definitely, you can see just the internal skeleton of them both. Comparatively speaking, this is superior for sure. My daughter comes out and helps me plant a lot. Kind of have to get things prepped, and then she likes to put in the plants and the seeds, and my husband, he just cooks it for me. If I grow it, he'll cook it. He's a great cook, and he cooks a lot more than I do, so I guess that's a good balance, is if I can bring him some fresh veggies, which has been great. We've been getting lettuce and bok choy, and I even have eaten a few raw green beans. I have some coming up, but not enough to put on a plate for dinner yet. this is something that it's a lifelong passion and hobby. I spend way too many hours out here, and it's just something that's always been part of me, trying to eat healthy, organic. I like to know where my food comes from. Just getting my fingers in the dirt is just, it's very, sometimes it's coming and weeding is, the most relaxing thing that I can do is just being outside all the time. I'm not here all the time. It's usually with a cup of coffee. I'm usually in pajamas, and then I'll stay in my pajamas for hours because I get lost out here, and my poor family, they've lost me to the greenhouse again. But it's lovely. I mean, in the summer, I can't wait to come out here and see what sprouted overnight or what grew overnight. In the winter, when it's cold and it's snowed, I'll come out here and there'll be snow piled up, or even because the Gothic arch, it sheds the snow, and that's part of the load-bearing thing that is so great about it, is it doesn't have to carry a lot of weight consistently because of the way that the snow falls off. But it's so lovely and warm inside on a cold day. If it's sunny out and it's 32 degrees out, I sit in here. But it's not just mornings, because if you see that I've got the lights, these are solar lights that I have rigged up in here, and the ambiance at night, I'll just sit in here. I'll have girlfriends over and we'll do like blind wine tastings, or like we just kind of hang out. It's just nice. It's pleasant to be around the plants and the flowers, and it's really fun to have all my neighbors be envious of me because I have flowers in the middle of the winter. So mornings and evenings, and just about any other time of the day.